Speaking of course, is not condoned the consumption of alcohol by persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pints and Pants podcast. This is a very special one. We usually don't do just me and my co-host here, but it's just us. So
this is a little bit of a rant.
Yeah, this is a RANTcast basically. We have a few issues.
RANTcast, I like that.
We have a few issues with a couple different games that we've been playing, and I had some stuff that I've been playing and
Same
watching.
Here.
It's like, hey, it's pretty good. We'll talk about it. But as always, I am your host, Mick Pettit. With me is
Drew Rowantree, the Wolfgang Pyre, the Druid, whatever.
And we're gonna sit here. We're gonna drink some beers, and we're gonna rant. So that's what's gonna happen. But also, first off, and I have to do this because I want to. I want to give a big shout out to the Nerd Buzz podcast. Those guys are awesome. Go check them out. They talk about everything that they think is awesome, that's nerdy, and they drink awesome beers while they do it too. So
Nerd Buzz.
Nerd Buzz podcast.
Nerd
yeah,
Buzz.
and we're hopefully gonna have them down possibly this month. I'm working some stuff out with them, but hopefully we're gonna have them down. We're gonna sit down and have some brews, talk about games and movies.
Not
comics,
only are they
everything.
freaking hilarious, but they have excellent choice in alcohol, and will recommend to you the best.
Marcus
with
has
a good cheapness, but the best.
But Marcus has this gift of picking out the high percentage ones.
Of course.
But
guy after my own heart.
He is an IPA guy, though.
Right.
He likes the IPAs. But
it's
yeah,
better than cider.
Ciders are good. At a certain point,
Yeah, if you want to drink straight vinegar.
I like vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is good.
How dare you?
So to start off, though, freaking ESO versus Neverwinter. That's what we're going to touch on. We talked about this in our
this might be an
part 3
ongoing
of
rant.
Just for the XP. We got into this little spot of it. So basically did a mini podcast there, and this is just a continuation of that.
Yeah. Yep.
ESO is a good game.
I love them both. I really do.
I bought it twice. So
But
I paid $120 to Bethesda for that game. Because I have it on PC and I also have it on PS4. I did not do the monthly thing because I thought that was stupid. I know you pay for it, but when
it took me a while, but I finally did.
I am not a fan of games that you have to play to pay. Or bleh.
Pay to play.
Pay to play. There we go. That works. Yeah, see? Stupid me. There we go.
No, I'm on board with that.
Because it doesn't make sense. If I'm going to pay $60 for a game and I'm only going to spend, the hours I play on it, that's as much money as I want to spend on the game. I don't want to spend 2 or 3 years worth of money, $10, $15 a month, or even $20 a month to play this game. Because if you think of how many games you can buy within that period of time and get more enjoyment out of what you're playing. Because you play a game, and if you don't play that game solely for at least, 10 days out of a month, you don't get your money's worth out of it.
So 4 months enjoying a game. $60. If you bought a fresh game that really, really fascinated you, and you spent 3.5, 4 months mostly playing that game, that's $60 of ESO.
Yeah. But think of the games that come out past that. You pay this monthly fee for this game, like, oh, cool, yeah, I'm playing this game, playing it, but then this new game comes out. So you buy that game. Now ESO is sitting off here in the corner. How many months does that sit there without you even touching it?
This is the exact thing that is happening to me with Fallout 4 and ESO. And now,
but Fallout isn't pay to play though.
No, but for a few months, I did not have internet connection at my new house. I couldn't afford it. All I could have was Fallout 4.
Yeah.
But for those 4 or 5 months,
You were paying for it, right?
Could have been playing ESO if I had an internet connection.
Yeah.
Because I had previously bought months worth
you
of
bought
ESO Plus.
The whatever it is, card.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it was just sitting there waiting for me, but you would have to have the internet connection, you would have to have ESO Plus, and you would have to have PlayStation Plus.
I mean, you pretty much already do have PlayStation Plus, which is That's a yearly thing that we buy. $60,
but it's still a separate bill.
But it's worth it. Like, PlayStation Plus, I have nothing against, because you get free games for both PS3, Vita, and PS4. Every month, you get these free games. And yes, if you don't pay for your PlayStation Plus anymore, you can't access those games, which is fine, totally fine. But the amount of games that you get, love it. For $60 a year, I have no complaints with that. But
now, this guy here is more broad spectrum in his preference of games.
Yes,
I'm a little bit more biased, I guess.
You're linear.
Linear and biased.
You have a road that you travel of games, and that's the road you stay on.
Which is irritating, because the qualifications for that road is it being non-linear.
I know.
Right? Yeah. So, Neverwinter, the beginning tutorial, the first 30 levels you get in Neverwinter, is pretty linear. But it's enjoyable enough for at least 3 characters worth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And ESO is straight up non-linear.
No.
Got a pretty big sandbox you play in. Because it's Bethesda and they understand us characters want a big sandbox to play in.
Yeah.
Granted, you will get your butt handed to you if you wander off the beaten path.
They
say it with your chest.
Yes, say it with your chest.
Now you gotta say it with your chest.
They say stuff and they put stuff in the game, that just
and the Hoiven and the Glaven.
I'll touch back to something because we touched on this in the Death of the XP that my biggest thing with ESO is it's an MMO. It is an MMO, which I understand. You have a hitbox. That's your projectile stuff go to that area. But the archery, the one thing I could not stand, and I'm an archer in that game, and I love the archer. I love the Widow.
I freaking rage quit the archery.
I know, and that's something that you can do. I went through it, and I'm still an archer in there. I haven't played it in a long time, but that's my character. Because I got used to the rolling and being able to shoot and things. But I did not like that I could shoot an arrow, like headshot, because you can aim in that game, and the arrow would just... Or if you were running to the side and strafing, and you shoot an arrow to this side, the arrow is going to just arc over and hit into that circle.
As if your arrow was some heat-seeking missile or something.
And that's basically what MMOs do. Right. It's like, you throw something, it's going to hit that character. Yeah, and I could not stand that. That's one of my biggest complaints is that when it first came out was, it's Skyrim, but it's an MMO. No, it's not. It's an MMO with a Skyrim overlay
on it,
basically. So it's basically like you're playing a very, very, very well rendered Warcraft, and that's what it is.
Yeah. All right.
And I like the game. I do like the game. I need to play it again. Just to try to start up, and because I just I haven't played in forever, and I love the story, I love everything about it, but just that little fact just like made me just killed it for me. Where then you have Skyrim where they have mods. I'm like, yes, mods. And the one thing that I'm very looking forward to, and they're still working on it, and it should be out soon, is the Skyrim Together, which is what ESO should have been, Bethesda.
A long time ago.
It should have been playing a role-playing game with an extra character, basically like Dark Souls did. Hey, join my game, even though there's only certain sections. But you had your character, you followed the host's mission. You both could do the missions.
Even Fable 2 was a bit ahead of this.
Well, Fable 2 had more of like the top-down player, though. Kind of game where you only had a certain box of area you could run.
Right.
But just the fact of being able to be in that area with that person and actually doing the same things and going into the buildings and like you shouldn't have to have an MMO aspect of it. You should be able to have the multiplayer aspect, but not the combat of multiplayer.
Right.
It should be like playing Destiny. That's what it should be like. Because Destiny, I can understand you do have some MMO-ish things. But if you're shooting a sniper rifle and you shoot him in the face, you're shooting him in the face.
And honestly, Destiny had some flawless integration in this.
It did, but then it also had its flaws in that as well.
Yeah, it did. I rage quit Destiny quite a bit too.
It had its moments. Sorry,
that's his girl telling him that dinner's ready.
No,
and it's going to be fantastic.
It's Chamber Wolf actually telling us that.
That dinner's ready.
This article sums up one of the reasons I want a Switch and Zelda. Well, because it's Zelda and it's a Switch, and Switch is the best console that Nintendo has come out with in years, and Zelda is amazing. That's the only reasons you need, anyways. I have played it. It's great. It's an awesome game.
You know what irritated me the most about ESO?
What?
The lack of vendor trash. Now, hear me out. Hear me out.
You have a lot of crafting materials, but not.
Hear me out.
Trash,
like when you first start out in ESO,
mm-hmm.
you're looting and you're looting and you're looting, and you're like, dude, I'm still trying to find a pair of pants.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're level 1, running around without pants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just now since then they've refined it a little bit. So you start off and it's a little bit more linear to get you a leg up in the game.
If you follow missions or quests.
Yeah. Now, ESO has done some massive patches. And I mean massive patches since I've started playing.
I know this because I've had to delete games to install them, which I think is stupid. I'm sorry, Sony. I love you, but
I'm not sorry.
I think it's stupid that I have I think it's stupid that I have to delete games to install the patch or the update for the game that is on the system. I think it should just overwrite the files and not make you delete a game or free up space for you to install this thing, because then you can have that same amount of space to be able to install your game again. It's stupid.
This is the first I've heard about this.
You've not had to do that?
No.
Okay, yeah, so you have your updates for the game.
Wow.
But if you don't have enough space on your console or your expanded memory,
which they published and sold to us.
Exactly. So you have to free up space to update the program.
Right.
Which you shouldn't have to do that. If this game has this update that's 17 gigs. I can
understand a couple of megs, but not that much.
They do like 10 gig updates. ESO does, at least. Grand Theft Auto 5 has went from 70 to about 100 gigs, I believe now, in memory storage. Like, that's how much the game has expanded, which it's understandable. They've added so much to it. But each time you had to update, you had to delete something or free up space if you didn't have enough room on your system, instead of them just copying or going through the files and just copying them over and then, replacing them.
I gotta say, on the mini rant,
yes,
they're taking up that much space on your console while still charging you a monthly fee to access that much memory on their database.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Depending on what it is, yeah. Unless, you do have the PS
Can you
Plus,
play this offline?
Grand Theft Auto, yeah. GTA you can play offline, which is the main story and everything.
Right.
But you can play the online stuff, and that's where most of this memory is coming in to play, is because they keep adding stuff to the online version of it.
But that's another thing that really irritates me about ESO, because you cannot play it offline.
Exactly. If I could play it offline...
why is it taking space on my console?
Because you have to have all that installed.
I'm like, all right.
It's an install, that's all it is.
Hang on. Like, if I'm going to save my own save files with my character, my stats, my crown purchases, my particular gray scale of costume dyes, let's face it, half of them are gray. Guys.
Most of them are gray.
They're all freaking gray.
It's either gray or fluorescent.
Right?
That's the spectrum.
I've seen some bright oranges. Now, that stuff, sure, save it on my console. But if you're going to only let me play this game online, then why is this taking up space on my own console?
the thing that's actually installed is the game itself, though. Like, because even though they have that stuff stored, all of your skins, all of your
But if they're going to
stuff,
store the entire game on my console, why can I not play it offline?
Because it's an MMO. That's the only reason. Because it is a massive multiplayer online game.
But if I bought the game and I install it on my console, so it's taking up memory, it's taking up money, it's taking up time.
Yeah.
Why isn't there a chunk of ESO that I can play only offline? Now, if that save file of that character is incompatible with the rest of the online world, I'm okay with that.
I'd be fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because that game is a online game.
Yeah.
It's like Warcraft. World of Warcraft. You cannot play that offline. It is WoW for a reason. Mm-hmm. It is the World of Warcraft. Of Warcraft. It is the MMO, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, so if you want a game that you can play offline and online, you're gonna have to go with, like
chess.
Yeah, or like 7 Days to Die. I know you don't like that game very much, which I really want you to get back into
physics.
Hey,
I probably
they
will
have
eventually.
Some awesome physics in that game. You have to build. You got to build supports for your buildings, or it'll crash down on your face and you will die. There's. I built a tower and I started building a tower of concrete on top of it, but because my supports on the bottom were all wood and I didn't have enough, my whole thing went. Yeah, it is actually really good. But there's games like that are online, offline. Like Fallout would be great if you could pull in another person. But again, that is a offline game. It's a single player game.
Now, if you were to take Fallout and you were to be able to load 1, 2, maybe 3 people into your
that'd be
world.
Great.
Now, if those people had permission to adjust things in your world, permission to move them around.
Yeah.
Which is literally just move them around, not take them with when they load it out.
No.
Just move them around.
You can access stuff in the game.
And so, saying that, the next time that same person loaded into your world, that dude, he would have the same caps available to him.
Yeah.
That he acquired in that world.
A lot of games do that.
Yeah.
They'll do a great idea. They'll do when that person loads in, you have this amount of stuff and you have this amount of experience.
That instance, if you will.
Certain games will allow you to, when you join in, you can take stuff and you can log out and you have all that stuff with you. Our friend Asher is kind of love you, Asher. You're kind of a jerk, but I love you. He's one of those guys that will go into ESO, join a guild, rob their bank, and then log out and leave the guild. Which sucks that can happen.
But that's pretty much.
But that just means he's like integrated into the Thieves Guild. I mean, that's gotta be what that is. So
honestly,
now,
ESO is good about permissions on that one.
They are, but if you're stupid enough to give somebody a permission to go ahead and access the guild bank,
someone you've known for 5 minutes,
you deserve to be robbed.
Even someone as nice a guy as Asher.
Every guild, everything that we make, if you join, you're gonna be bottom of the barrel, bud. I'm sorry.
You know our bank is empty now, right?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure somebody stole something, or you did.
Wasn't me.
Somebody stole all of our stuff?
Someone cleaned us out.
Really?
Yeah.
Just keep adding all these people. I'm sure it's what it was. So we should put, who the hell stole all of our stuff? Yeah, because last time I was on, we had a crap ton of stuff.
Yeah. And what I recommend to people is join a guild. If there's a common guild bank, just add what you have as vendor trash that you're looking at about to sell to the vendor, and you're thinking, I bet somebody in our guild can use that. I don't need the money, so put it in the guild bank.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you got enough money you don't need to sell, then go ahead, put it in the guild bank. Someone will use it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And whoever cleaned us out, it may have been multiple people.
There was a lot
Too far back to check. So basically,
there was a lot of like crafting materials in there though, like good stuff.
as long as someone used it, I don't care.
More than likely
'Cause
they didn't.
everything
More than likely they went to the store and they sold it. They didn't use. No. I mean,
because
like
the people they sold it to would have used it.
I don't know. That's
The thing is, if you
it's a dick move. It's a dick move.
yeah, it's a bit of a dick move, but
It's a big dick move.
but remember,
Or it's a compensation dick move, is what it is.
right. But I also try to bear in mind that I enjoy ESO so much
Yeah, I mean,
that
it's fun.
collecting these crafting materials I enjoyed enough.
See, and then
It doesn't bother me
to a point.
much.
There's a point because
Right.
we've spent how many hours collecting this stuff and how many people collecting this stuff and
Right.
putting it in this bank for people to use in our guild, not
And
to
then
take it
someone
all,
just
and then
cleans
someone
it.
cleans you out, and then you're like,
Yeah.
the fraud just happened.
Yep.
Basically,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why you would do this, and like even I play games where I'm like, oh man, I could steal everything from these people,
Yeah.
and I didn't
Well-
do it. But
ESO
I've come close.
ESO has a lot of faults.
Oh.
And we're gonna get more into that.
And
But what I
well,
go ahead.
I want to switch gears though. In
You mind if I throw in one little
go
tidbit about ESO?
ahead before I switch. Yeah.
Real quick tidbit about ESO is I'm a member of at least 4 different guilds, including the one we've started.
Yeah.
And what I found in each and every one of these guilds is you have the guild leaders who will 100% of the time take their time, their effort, their expertise, even a chunk of their materials to help you out.
Yeah.
And
Which is
I gotta
good.
say, that is really, really admirable.
Yeah. Then that's always nice. I mean, you have these guilds that are.
Crafting
Again,
guilds, they're helpful guilds.
I'm saying you have your guilds, and then you have your guilds.
Yeah.
So you have
Yep.
your people who actually play and they want to do things and they want to raid and they want to do quests and they want to help you with things. But then you have these other guilds who are just little assholes that just want to do nothing but rant about how much your mother
Yep.
slept with their father and how much they've done whatever to them.
Your mother's a nice person.
Like that's what you have, and that is the online society that we have nowadays.
It's a culture.
It's it's stupid. It really is. It's retarded.
Yes.
I hate it. And I say this all the time, and I hate that I'm mixed in with millennials because millennials, I do not like them in the fact of your attitude. If you're watching, sorry. Your attitude sucks. It's the attitude of I should have everything given to me. I shouldn't have to work. I should be able to do this. I don't care what you think. Give it to me. Like,
And it's an
that's-
attitude problem.
and it is. But
Yeah.
but how much that's been integrated into them now. Like there's one of my favorite bands. Used to be favorite bands. Attila. Their first 2 albums, awesome. They were like a party metal band. Great. You know, everything was about drinking and partying and do all that stuff. And they were the hardcore stuff. As soon as, like, the second album, like, after that, it was all about the lead singer. How he doesn't care. If you don't care what people think, screw them. F everything else. Do what you want to do, no matter what anybody else says. And it's all about him. He's just super ignorant. And, like, you're putting that into the kids now. Like, that kids listen to that and they're like, oh yeah, like this is how I want to live. I want to live like this person. He doesn't care. He doesn't give an F. He just sits there and smokes weed all day and drinks and he has all these awesome cars and he's successful. And that's the attitude we have. And I hate that. It's so stupid.
Right.
And I don't know. It gets me.
Yeah,
Because
that's understandable.
They upped the age limit of millennials. Because I wasn't a millennial. But
Yeah.
I think you are too, right? Because they upped it to 32 or 34.
So it's 1985.
That's what it is. 85. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're millennials. Apologize for millennials because they're stupid.
Some.
Some of them, yes, some of them. But and it's the no work ethic. nobody has a work ethic anymore. You and me work. We work our asses off.
And if I have to sit still for like a week, if I'm injured or if there's no work, I go a little bit stir crazy. I want to do something productive and I want to get paid for it. And I know a immense amount of those labeled millennials are the same way. But what we're suffering through right now, and what Mick's little rant was, Mick's medium-sized rant was, medium-sized rant,
drunken. I'm not drunk yet.
Was that there are quite a few, quite a good amount.
Most.
I ain't gonna say most, but a good amount.
A good amount.
Loud, angry millennials that are just not pulling their weight.
And it's all just bitching. That's all it is. Like they bitch about everything and they don't do anything about it. That's all.
Now, a part of that is ageism.
Yeah.
A little part of it. Well,
and you know, I'm 29. I'm not old. I'm not young, but you know, from as long as I've been alive, it's changed. Like,
yeah.
People make me mad nowadays. I never used to get mad at what people thought or like how
You're
they
right.
acted, but now like it just makes me so irritated.
You know, lumber prices have doubled.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's yeah. I mean, Weyerhaeuser owns most everything.
Right. At least around here.
At least in the U.S. I think Weyerhaeuser is one of the biggest ones.
At least the Northwest.
Northwest, at least. Yeah. Northwest.
You know, where all the lumber grows.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of it comes from Canada.
Well, that's cold lumber. That doesn't count.
Hey, at least it's nice. Oh, I see you're cutting me there, eh?
You can take that tree. I'm going to charge you for the next one, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you took down 2? Oh, it's okay. I love Canada. Canada's great. Now, video game rant again. Skins.
Oh,
I hate skins. Skins are stupid. We should not be charging people for skins. Skins should be unlockable. They should not be something you pay for. They should not be something that we strive to get to show that we are the best in this game. Because you can buy anything. You can buy freaking $2,000 skins, like I talked about on the game we did.
That's a good dividing line.
Characters and skins should be unlockable, not paid to unlock. They should be played to unlock. That's where it should be. All the old games were, hey, here's some extra characters, but you gotta do some certain things to unlock these characters. You want that special gun that looks awesome? Do these challenges. It shouldn't be, oh, pay $20 and now you can get all these characters and all the guns.
You know, I gotta say, Bethesda kind of failed in one aspect of Fallout 4, and I think that showed quite a bit to prove your point. The Creation Club of Fallout 4.
I haven't looked at that one. I looked at the
it's garbage.
Skyrim.
It's nothing but skins.
Do they have the realism in Fallout 4? No? Okay. So somebody's probably still working on
If you want it as a mod, yes. But the Creation Club is separate.
Yeah.
It's held up and above and over.
Yeah.
Now, if you want, you can buy credits with real money. And you can buy
certain things from the Creation Club. Yeah. Which, that's how you have to buy the realism mod for Skyrim. Is through the Creation Club. Which, I'm totally fine with that. Because I would willingly pay for that mod. Because that mod gives you... excuse me. Gives you...
heartburn.
No, not heartburn at all. Just nice burp.
But wait, there's more.
So the Skyrim...
Billy Mays.
Creation Club gives you the realism, which is hunger, no thirst, but there's stamina. You have to sleep. You can get, like, there's just so many things. You can get in the water, you can get wet and cold. And
Fallout 4 is pretty much up there on their vanilla survival mode. But
it's close.
Remember that
Skyrim,
their hardest difficulty did not have that.
No, it didn't. So if you play the game on realism on legendary, you're boned.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
You are boned with 17 bones. It's and for people like us, we're hoarders. We are. I mean, we just
absolutely.
I have to pick up everything.
Yep.
As you can see from our show,
from
just the
our,
XP.
just
We go
for
to
the
the
XP.
store all the time.
Yeah, and we wish there was more crafting, more parting away.
Yeah. But then there's so many mods you can add to that too, though, which is the smelting down, which you can actually smelt down more things than just your normal ores.
Right.
You can actually do like iron armor. You can do plates. You can do bowls. You can do goblets. You can do all these different things.
And you have ingots.
Yeah, it makes the ingots, which
honestly
which is awesome.
Should be the currency.
Well, I mean,
things like ingots,
gold, like dragons or coins or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like that's currency because that's what they
but
dealt. It was
you
coin.
were saying,
but
sorry.
the fact of the realism of it is you get cold, you get warm, you get cold, you get wet.
If you get wet in freezing temperatures, you gotta make yourself a fire.
Yeah, and you can get certain things. You're like, oh, there's a crafting fire, but that doesn't get you warm. That makes it you can make some food, but you can't get warm from that fire.
And I gotta call bull on that.
Well, that
needs some adjustment.
But when you have your camp or wherever you go to a forge or whatever, you can make a portable campfire.
Oh, right. So you just park it right next to you. All right.
You can make all these portable things. When you place it, you can't pick it back up, but it's there. So that's where followers come in handy, and that's where you have the multiple follower system, which is awesome as well. So you can have like
also somewhat realistic
6 followers, I believe, because you have your normal, your standard, and then you have 5 others you can have follow you.
Yeah, all right.
So you can have them carry everything, plus a tent, bed, campfire, cooking stove, anvil.
Proper camping setup,
you can have
man.
Everything. Yeah, and they all weigh 5 pounds, which that's normal. I mean, bedroll, I wouldn't think
a little bit generous, but
you can have one person carrying all of your stuff, or if you have one follower, you have him carrying all of your camping stuff. You go out trekking, you need to sleep, you're freezing, take all your crap, you throw it down. There you go. Good to go.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Well done.
Yeah. And then I don't know. It's just like the mods make it great. And that saying, I don't have any trophies in the game, but I'm think I'm gonna go through it and try to platinum it.
If we could just combine that, because that's what ESO was supposed to be.
Should have been.
And it has failed.
That's what it was supposed to be.
ESO has failed.
It's not what it should be.
And
that's what it was meant to be. That's what they said. This was a multiplayer Elder Scrolls game like Skyrim. Like that was what they said.
They just now added storage space in the houses you buy.
Really? They just now added that?
Couple days ago.
Wow.
Months ago, I saved up and I saved up and I saved up, and I bought on Black Friday deals. Right now, last Black Friday, by the way.
Oh yeah,
no Crown Store deals.
Really?
Nothing, and that angered so many people.
Oh, I'm sure.
So many people. So, a couple days later, they added a little Black Friday because people were leaving the game, man. Now, I had saved up and I had looked at all these houses, and
you bought the island, didn't you?
Deep down, I wanted a castle. All right, I've always wanted my own castle, so I saved up.
That's why.
I bought.
That's why I play 7 days. You built your own castle.
I know, right? I saved up and I bought just the smallest castle in the game that I thought was generally okay. Maybe not the smallest, but it was generally okay. And it was garbage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all,
seriously.
Yeah, just garbage.
I rage quit.
Yeah.
All right. I bought the thing. I bought it fully furnished. So it was a couple extra crowns. Not a big deal, man. I mean, like $15.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed it enough.
You liked the game
$15.
enough to put that much money into it.
So I bought the thing, loaded in that little instance, wandered around, saw what I could do. You can't even sleep on the beds.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That was it. Nope. You cannot store anything in your own castle. You can't sleep on the bed. You can sit on the chair.
That's about it.
That's it.
So,
that's
it.
it.
But was it?
All
Okay,
you can do is sit on the
then
chair.
with this last update, they added storage, right?
Some
storage. You still can't sleep in the bed. Nothing.
No.
Well, see now that's one thing that Bethesda should have done was like fix this before you put it out.
Now you can buy, or you can go around and collect specific ingredients for several hours, which I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can build your own crafting station in your own house.
Okay.
All right, I like that. That's good stuff.
But if you don't have any spot to store it.
But every time they add a DLC like that, they add another deeper layer of garbage.
Oh,
crafting materials.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, that reminds me of one of the things that bothers me about Neverwinter.
That's actually better than ESO.
Last time I counted, there were 9 different currencies.
Whoa. That's too much.
And every area you go into, not instance, but every area. Like, I'm gonna go into the Sword Coast. Alright, now there's a whole bunch of instances, there's a whole bunch of dungeons in the Sword Coast.
Mm-hmm.
There's a vendor in the Sword Coast, there's a little bit of a town on the Sword Coast. Has its own currency.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of makes sense that they would have their own, but still.
I mean to say it's not a currency, but it's
their own special item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say bandit insignias.
Yeah.
Every time you kill a bandit, there's a
flag.
20% chance you get a trophy from killing that bandit.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You collect those trophies. It's another type of currency for only specifically that area.
Yep.
And there's 25 different areas. So that's...
So you have to have that much on you.
25 different types of currency.
Which is...
Plus the 9 vanilla different types of currency.
Which that's where you have to work about like where you're going that day in the game, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which okay, I can understand. I can understand it, but it makes sense.
And that's one thing ESO was a little bit ahead on.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit.
Well, this has been a pretty good rant.
Oh, man, we have so much more to rant about.
We have more. It's coming later, but
wow,
yeah.
Man.
For this,
we haven't even touched on PvP.
For this episode,
haven't even touched on PvP.
that's gonna be next
a good time.
So we want to thank you for watching the Pints and Pants podcast, and we have a new send off that we're doing now.
Oh no!
And we came up with this because we figured that it'd be good. And I don't even remember it, but we did. We have pints in our hands.
And pants in our butts.
Now let's put this booze in our guts. Stay stupid, everyone.
I would like to point out that I'm not holding my pinky out because it's fancy. I'm holding my pinky out because...
That was only about a half hour. That's good.
That was good.
I'm holding my pinky out because it didn't have
It hurts.
Skin left on it.